Hi guys, it's Ruthie, your Mystery Guest 1948, and welcome to my month 20 post-op SADI-S or Loop-DS video. Welcome! Okay, so if you are new here, hi, I'm Ruthie. I'm 37 years old. I'm 5 foot 7 inches tall, and I'm a single mom, and I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. On December 11th of 2017, I had the Loop-DS or SADI-S bariatric procedure with Dr. Curtis Peary at Sanford Health. And this is my channel where I kind of document how things are going 20 months later. So my high weight was 375 pounds, and that was back in July of 2016. On the day of surgery on December 11th of 2017, I was 319.4 pounds. Last time I came at you guys back in July of 2019, last month I was 187.4 pounds. And this month that I weighed in, I was 183.8 pounds. So I finally had a little bit of a loss. That is a loss of 3.6 pounds for the month, overall loss of 191.2, and since surgery of 135.6. So I'm all right with that. 3.6 pounds. I mean, doesn't seem like a lot when I used to lose that like in a week, but I'm a lot smaller now, so percentage wise, like that's not bad. But yeah, I mean, the weight loss has been so slow. Guys, I've only lost 6 pounds in 5 months. Yeah, that's insane. And I am like determined to actually make goal. Like I know that it's not that I'm not grateful for where I am. I am extremely pleased with how my body is feeling, the things that I can do now that I couldn't before. It just always astounds me. Like today I had posted on Instagram, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, the information's all in the description box below, but I had posted on Instagram some pictures from back when I did some missions work back in, I worked with YWAM, Youth with a Mission, and I was stationed in Hawaii initially. I know, so tough to be stationed in Hawaii. Trust me, it's harder than you might think. There was no air conditioning. And, but it's still gorgeous on the Big Island in Kona. But I was stationed there for a little while for training, and then I went to Mongolia and to China. And looking back at some of these pictures and just remembering what an amazing experience it was, and like just seeing the different cultures and meeting the people and seeing, the power of God and like all that stuff was so awesome and a time that I cherish in my life. But I had this little twinge when I was looking at it, and I'm like, I've always felt like I'm a fairly like confident and adventurous person. But there were certain things that I would opt out, certain activities I opt out of doing because I was obese and because I knew my body's limitations. And so I would choose to not try certain things, or would feel, I don't know what the right way to say it, like feel like I couldn't do certain activities because of my body's limitations. And that's not saying that people that are overweight can't do these different experiences. It just means that for me, like when we had to climb 600 stairs for the start of our hike in China, that was really intimidating. I mean, I did it, but I was, always the one at the bottom and huffing and puffing the whole way. And I mean, this is at a time when I was working out and I was really trying to get fit, but it still was really hard for me because I was just carrying around so much excess weight. And I think I was probably around like 270, 250, something like that pounds at the time. And yeah, I just couldn't do a lot of the things that, my good friend on the trip, Halvard from Norway, like he was 6 foot something ridiculous and like skinny. And he's just like hiking away, and he'd practiced all in the Norwegian mountains, and he was fine. And so he'd like help me. Help me up the mountain. This poor overweight girl from Minnesota. He was great though. Good times, good times. But yeah, I was just like thinking about that and thinking about the limitations that I had and being so grateful that a lot of those limitations that I had are no longer a factor. Like if I want to try something or do something, I still to this day have this like little twinge of that fat anxiety, like, oh, I'm gonna break it, or oh, my body doesn't move that way, or oh, do you see this body? Yeah, it's not made to do that. Like I still have a little twinges of that, but obviously not nearly as much as before. Anyway, so that's kind of a throwback Thursday for you. But basically for this month, I had mentioned last time I was going to stick to keto, and that's what I did. I did mostly keto all month, very, high fat, pretty low carb, and just stuck with it all month and didn't take any days off. And it seemed to work. I mean, again, 6 pounds in 5 months, guys, and 3.6 pounds of that was this month. I'm not even sure how to speed up that process, or if there's even a way for me to speed up the process. Like, I weigh the least after I go on a really long run. But, I mean, I'm not going to run 10 miles every day. I'll run 10 miles maybe every week, but I don't know. I think I may try and do like a 1 meal a day for a couple of weeks just to see if I can cut my calories just a little bit. But I don't want to go crazy, and I want to make sure that I keep taking in enough nutrients so that I still feel strong when I'm running. Because, guys, by the next time I come to you, I will have ran a half marathon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I ran a 12-mile before. And I'm doing one more 12-mile next weekend, actually on the 25th of August, which is my dad's birthday. August in general is going to be hard for me because my dad died last year in August. And so I've got all the feels right now, quite frankly. I am on emotional edge fairly frequently. Like, I feel on the verge of tears all the time. And, I know that's why. It's because it was a year ago that I lost my dad, and he's been a source of inspiration. Running has been a way for me to work through some of my grief. I've channeled my grief and missing him into running. And so every time I run, I think of my dad. Every time I am like, oh my gosh, can I do this? I think of my dad and how proud he would be of me and how he would be cheering me on and be my biggest fan. And right now, my son is my biggest fan, and it just warms my heart. The only time I'm able to go running is when my sister is home to watch my son. So when I can run outside, I mean, I could run on the treadmill, but I really like running outside. So he woke up and I had gone out for my run, and he proceeded to tell my sister that mommy is running in the biggest circle in the whole world. How cute is that? Anyway. Let's see. I wrote down some notes, guys. Woo. I really want to reach my goal. I really want to reach my weight goal. I know it's just a number on the scale, okay? I'm aware that the number on the scale should not have any bearing on my self-worth at all, and it doesn't. But there is this determination in me to actually reach my goal. I am a goal-oriented person anyway, and so I just want to get there. Even if just for a minute, I just want to get there and be able to be like, yeah, that's right. I did it. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Oh, tired. It's almost 10 p.m. Which is late for me because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock and then hit my snooze. But yeah, so it's really important to me that I actually meet that goal, which is why I'm like, well, let's try 1 meal a day, see if I can kind of get my body down to lose a little bit more. I don't know what else to do. Like, how far can you cut calories and carbs and things before it starts getting like borderline unhealthy? Because I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do anything that's going to be unhealthy or like eating disorder-ish or anything like that. I want to do it healthily, but I just want to get there. So if I don't get there by the like beginning of next year, then I'm just gonna call it maintenance. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know when I met with my nutritionist, one of the things she said is that sometimes for people, it's the way that they do maintenance is to always like be like, oh, I just want to lose 5 more pounds. So always kind of in losing mode, but being okay with where they are at the same time, kind of, just so that they never like go off track. And I don't know if I'd want to do that or not. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it because like I plan on tracking forever. I've mentioned that before. Like, I still do these things. I still track. I still drink my water. I still take my vitamins. I still do my meal prep every week. Like, I do all these things. These are habits that I've formed. I'm sorry, I'm getting really warm. These are habits that I've formed over the course of this time that for me are sustainable habits. They're things that I can continue to do for the rest of my life in order to keep a healthy lifestyle. That was my goal the whole time. Besides losing the weight, obviously I wanted to lose the weight, okay? Like, because I wanted to feel healthier and I wanted to be able to keep up with my son and I just wanted to feel better. But I also wanted to have that tool and that motivation to help me to create healthy habits that I can maintain for the rest of my life, because there's no end to living a healthy lifestyle. There's no like, I reached maintenance and now I can just go back to whatever the heck I was doing before. Because if I ever went back to whatever I was doing before, I would just get back to where I was. And yeah, no, not doing that. So yeah, so I mentioned that I'm running a 12-mile race on the 25th. I'm actually doing a running series that's supposed to help you train up for the half marathon. There was a 4-mile, 8-mile, and 12-mile, and then it's the half marathon. So I did the 4-mile, did the 8-mile last weekend, and then on the 25th is the 12-mile, and then it's a 13.1 on the 8th of September. Yay! And shout out to my boyfriend Matthew, who has come and cheered me on at all of the at the 4 and the 8-mile, and even watched Keegan, my son, for me, so I could run. Thank you, Matthew. I think, what do I want to talk about here? So obviously running, I'm actually already thinking about my next goal beyond the 13.1. Like, after I do the half marathon, what next? What am I going to do for training? Because I don't want to lose this momentum. I don't want to lose the fitness level that I've reached, and I want to do a full marathon. Hopefully next year. My next goal after the half marathon is to do a full marathon, the Sioux Falls full marathon next year, because there's no qualifying time. And guys, I'm freaking slow, but I run, so that's what matters. Couple NSVs I just wanted to share with you is obviously Keegan, my son. He asked me the other day, he's like, so mommy, got very serious, when are you going to grow up and get big? Because you've gotten small, but now you need to get big. How cute is he? But I loved that. I was like, well, Keegan, actually, mommy's tummy was so big and I felt so big that I needed to get, that it was hurting mommy, and so I needed to get smaller. And so then he proceeded to tell a random stranger that my mommy's tummy used to be really big, and then she got small. Which, awkward, random strangers, but whatever. I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm glad that he's, even as a 4-year-old, like, he sees that mommy used to be big. Like, he sees pictures of me and he's like, that's not you, mommy. So I'm glad that he recognizes that this is his mommy. This is his mommy. The fit mommy that goes for runs and the biggest circles in the world is his mommy. Not the obese and, like, had a hard time keeping up with him outside and could only play outside for half an hour at a time at most. Mommy. I'm the mommy who chases him around as a lava monster on the playground equipment and can go down the slide with him and all that good stuff. As you know, that is like one of my favorite NSVs of all time, is when I went down the slide. Ooh, another one. They had a superhero event at a local church, and I went with Keegan, dressed up as Supergirl, and he was as Superman. And they had like inflatables and stuff. And back before, I would never have gone on an inflatable because I would be afraid that I would, like, not be able to get up if I fell down, quite frankly, which is so embarrassing, but true. That's like one of those things that even those adult inflatables, I actually remember I was somewhere, I don't know where it was, but they had these inflatables for adults, and I refused to even try because there's no way that, no, I'm just not going to do it, because I just was so afraid that I would either get stuck or not be able to do it and just embarrass myself. And so, but I went to this event and I went on those inflatables. Heck yes, I did. And it was fun, and I was terrible at it and fell down all the time, but it was still fun, and Keegan just laughed and had so much fun. Happy mom moment. Those are, of course, always my favorite NSVs. Just the ability to keep up with Keegan is the biggest NSV ever. Like, seriously. Pretty flippin' awesome. And, another NSV, I guess you could call it that, and something that's been, I'm actually really, like, surprised and humbled, I guess, kind of. Maybe that's not the right word, but, like, is people ask me for, like, fitness tips. Me, for fitness tips. Like, I am very open about the fact that I've had weight loss surgery. Like, it's not a secret. I needed help, and I am not ashamed of needing that help, and I'm glad I took the step to do it, but it's not like that's the end of the game. It certainly is really helpful, but it's not the end, and it's those healthy habits, of course. And so I've been asked by a lot of people, actually, both about weight loss surgery and, what my thoughts are on it, and my experience, but also about fitness and how I went from, last year at this time, I remember coming to you and being like, oh my gosh, I ran for 23 minutes in a row. And like, that's a slow day now. And that's insane. That's insane. And awesome. And it's encouraging to know that because I stuck with it and didn't give up, and, regardless of whether the motivation was, fueled by grief or by the desire to be fit or both, like, here I am. And I'm going to run my first half marathon in like 3 weeks. And that's blows my mind. Yeah, anyway, I don't know, do you guys have any questions or, like, want me to talk about anything specific? Because I totally can. I don't always know what to say in these videos. Like, I experience these things and, like, want to share them with you sometimes, and I'm like, well, like, I feel like I've talked about this before. Like, I still see myself a lot of times as, like, the fat girl. I look in the mirror and I still see obese Ruthie. I identify with the thought processes and the experiences of plus size people, because that's who I have been my entire life. And so when people are sharing their experiences and their struggles and their like the war that goes on in their heads as a because they're obese, I get that. I do. And those struggles are still in me, and so that I like identify with that still. Like I may be a size 4 and small, but I still feel like a size 22 and double XL. Like that's about my comfort zone, Ruthie. And even though I never want to be there again, and I recognize now that even though that's where I felt good and confident and sexy and amazing, like, and I was all those things, that I was still unhealthy. And getting to where I am now, I'm still that same, beautiful and confident and sexy person, but I'm just smaller. And I'm not really always sure how to relate to myself in this new body, but I'm working on it. I'm getting used to it. Eventually I'll get there where like I look in the mirror, and I hope so. Eventually I get where I look in the mirror and I'm like, you are no longer obese. And it's okay to accept yourself as not obese, Ruthie. But I still have my arms, man. Always as a reminder that I was once much larger. Man, those things. Dang. Extended arm lift, anyone? I mean, if I had an extra, $25,000, I'd get it done, but that's just not going to happen right now. So, maybe someday. We'll see. Who knows what the future holds. Yeah, anyway, if you guys have any questions or want me to talk about anything specific, please let me know, and I am always willing to talk. If you want to message me on Instagram, if you have anything that you want to talk to me personally, that's totally fine. I am always willing to talk. But yeah, I think that I'm going to sign off here, and